Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph, here for a late Monday night video right here on the main channel. Once again, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down in my goddamn pants, otherwise known as the description box below. And don't forget to leave a comment on the video if you like. But if you leave stupid comments, bye-bye, so long, farewell to you. You get sent to the Shadow Realm, and Ozzy, Satan, and their minions will pretty much eat your carcass and then your soul. They will swallow your soul, pretty much. Evil Dead, if you didn't get that reference. But I digress. So don't leave stupid comments. You get blocked. You don't like it. Tough shit. And also, please hit that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one, because if you miss anything, you know what you are, and you know what that means. And if you don't know what it means, look it up. And that's SOL. So, and don't forget to share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And that's pretty much it. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab that tasty cold one, and enjoy the show. Like it? Great. Too bad. Simple as that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. On this late Monday night, January the 12th, 2026, or if you're watching on the replay, or you're watching whenever this goes up, January the 13th, 2026, as we hit the midpoint, about to hit the midpoint of the month. And, yeah, we're getting there, man. 13 days into the new year. Has been great for, weather-wise. For some people, not great. Here in the Northeast, we're gonna get something. Not Thursday. They were saying Thursday, 3 to 4 inches now. Garbage. Nothing. But, things can change in the next 48 hours, huh? We'll see, and then it's gonna get bone-chilling cold by next week. Oh. And spring is not even here yet. We got 2 more months of winter. It might last to April, depending on that fucking hedgehog. I always say groundhog, but I call it the hedgehog. But whatever. So we'll see what happens with that. But, it's mid-January, getting close to the end of January, and, usually in my neck of the woods, gets really bad around this time, so. So, as much as I wanted to put my snowmelt away for a while, I gotta probably take it back out, maybe this weekend or early next week. We'll see. But wherever you may be, I hope you had a great day and the weather was fine, and if not, well, too bad. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this late Monday night, right here on the Killer Demons channel, the main channel, I am your host, Peter Joseph, your travel god of extreme. I am a content creator talking about the wonderful world of wrestling and other sports, like baseball, football, a little bit of hockey, a little bit of basketball, not so much, other sports like badminton and soccer and all that other garbage sports, the real sports we talk about here. But I also talk about wrestling and music and movies and little politics here and there. And anything I feel like talking about. And if you like that, great. Subscribe to my channels. All the links down below in the gobbledygook. And if not, keep it moving. Simple as that. But, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your late, not out of day, but it's late Monday night Raw review for January the 12th, 2026, earlier today at 2 p.m. on Netflix. We saw it live here. Most of you saw it live, wherever you may be. And we're getting it next week, too. It's going to be from Belfast, Northern Ireland, even though I don't know why WWE calls Belfast a British territory, because it's not! And they have the British flag. It's Belfast, Northern Ireland, which is not part of the UK. Technically, but I don't know why they have a British flag on the logo. I don't know. Somebody didn't do their research. But I digress. But earlier today, we are from the PSD. Wonder what PSD means. Pure sexy dick. That's what it means. So, right, ladies? Let me move on. From the PSD Bank Dome in Dusseldorf. Was like I call it Dusseldorf, Germany. So we were in Berlin for SmackDown, and then some house shows in Glasgow, Scotland, love, and then back to Germany. Now on Friday we're going to London, England, love, and then we're going a little bit northeast-ish. Well, not northeast, sorry, northwest. Going this way to Belfast, and then on next Monday, then back to the States not back to the States, kind of back to North America for next Friday's SmackDown in Montreal, and then next Saturday night's main event once again in Montreal, and then Raw, I believe, is back in the States. So we got that. That's going to be live at 8 p.m. on Netflix. And then after that, we're hopping on a jet to the land of sand. And that's Saudi Arabia for SmackDown and the Royal Rumble. The start of the Big Four and the start of the road to WrestleMania 42 in Vegas. Go to Nali, we go to Vegas! You know. If you never watch Perfect Strangers and Larry Appleton and Balky Bartokamos from Meepos, another great show from the 80s. Epic show. Gosanali, I'm so happy, we do the dance of joy! No, okay, I'm not gonna do the dance of joy. Some of you might want to see that, but I'm not doing it for you. Fuck you. Pay me, maybe. Hey, that rhymes. If you pay me, maybe I'll do it, but I need a partner to do it, and Rosa ain't gonna be helping me do that, but it is what it is. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to Monday Night Raw. This was pretty bad. A pretty mid show. The big one was AJ Bad Hair Styles and Walter in the main event. And, didn't end so well, and like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. Not be about it, let's talk about it, if you will. So, we got that. But before we get to the action, our commentary team, a little bit of a change. Michael Cole, the legendary Michael Cole, and Bad News Weed Bennett. Well, I'm a friend, Michael Cole, and got some bad news for you. I'm sitting here, not Corey Slave. Well, Corey Slave was probably in Pittsburgh watching his garbage Steelers losers. They got beat by the Houston Texans. I forgot what the score was, but I think it was 23-6. Last time I actually looked at it. So the Steelers, bye-bye, so long, farewell to you. As far as Aaron Rodgers, and is this going to double check whether he stays another year in Pittsburgh or he finally actually really retires and maybe goes to the booth, or he goes to the NFL Network or wherever he goes. Bye. One stinking Super Bowl. Sucks to be you, but you feel the Niners, and you can't get it out of our head. Eat shit, Rodgers. Eat shit. Favre's way better than you. Just saying. Anyway. Blah, 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 blah. So, Michael Cole and Wade Barrett on the call. I assume Wade Barrett's going to be on SmackDown. Corey Slade will probably be back. Maybe next Monday from Belfast, Northern Ireland. We'll see. Then again, he's probably too butthurt because the Steelers lost. Aww. At least he has Carmelo to cry on. And their kids. But, too bad for you. Oh well. Alright, so we start the show off with an opening recap of what happened last week on the program with Mommy Rhea Ripley and my girl, my third amazingly hot Asian wife. You love her, you can't get enough of her. Io Sky winning the tag team belts from my first and second amazingly hot Asian wives, and that's Asuka and Kylie. We saw that, and also we saw CM Punk somehow retain the Raw World title against Braun Breaker. And we had that. So we get a little recap of that, and we move on. Alright, then we get a nice drone shot. I love these drone shots. That's the only good thing, but I gotta say one thing. The last couple of Raws, even from the end of last year, and then last week's Raw, pretty mid. Have you noticed this week's Raw was mid? And I was talking to Easton's chat and everything. And we were talking and like, has Raw lost its aura? I think so. I think Raw and a little bit of SmackDown have lost their aura. They don't have that oomph anymore. I mean, the crowd is half dead for some people, or just pretty much dead. Not much like, cheer! What are you doing? Sitting in your ass! Why did you come? Paid your hard-earned money to just sit on your ass for about 2-3 hours. And you're not cheering, you're not booing, and just standing there like, ugh. I came to the show to be bored. I don't know, but yeah, I kind of agree. Raw and SmackDown have lost their aura. And if you think about it, AEW last week, Dynamite last week was pretty damn good. In my view, it was pretty damn good. Collision was meh, but I'll get to Collision probably tomorrow. I want to do it today, but I was so stressed out from work and other things that, I wanted to do when I got home, but I fell asleep when I got home. I got up, rewatched Raw again, and then had my sensible dinner with the missus, and then watched a movie, and then now I'm doing I'm recording this thing while she's in the shower. So I'm not going to be that long, but we'll see. She don't care, but, it is what it is. And we sleep in the same room, by the way, so 2 bedrooms. Yeah, I got 2 bedrooms, and we don't sleep in different bedrooms. Dumb fuck. Got a bedroom over here. Got a bedroom over here. Got a closet right behind me. Closet in the other bedroom. Closet in that bedroom. So we got 3 bedrooms. Dumb fuck. Give him a little speedy space. It's a bungalow. 3 bedrooms. And an attic. Which is basically the second floor. Which we don't go up there that much, but if we need something from there, we get it. But most of the time, we just stay here. Then I got the kitchen like right next to me, and bathroom like right there. But backyard or whatever. But it is what it is. But it might be an old house. 1933, I think this house was built. It was way different than what it looks like. Way different. Way different than when my nono, my grandfather used to live here with my grandmother, my nono and my nonna, if you're Italian, They used to live here, and then I took over after my grandfather passed away. So now me and Rose have been living here since 2011. So 15, going on 15 years here. So now I actually own the house. But I digress. But anyway, aside from that, like I said, if it might be an old house, but it's a house. And the ceiling is not dirty, it's just the way it looks on my camera. I know it's an old fuck phone, but, whatever. It's on HD! Who cares? Who cares? You're still watching. I digress. Alright, moving on from that. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, so we start off Raw with the recap. Then we have the drone shot. We hear the music of Io Sky, and then My Brutality! Rhea Ripley, the women's tag team champions, they come out to celebrate their big title win last week over the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kylie. So they get in the ring, and they're thrilled to be the champs, or after Mommy says, "Welcome to Monday Night Raw!" Even though it's Monday afternoon Raw here. So anyway, so they're thrilled to be the champs, ready for anyone, so they kind of throw in an open challenge, if you will, to anybody, and then Liv Morgan and the beautiful Roxanne Perez, or Roxy, they come out to interrupt. Liv talks about how she never lost a belt. And it's true because she got injured, and Roxy, who was came into the Judgment Day, she took over for Liv, and then teamed up with Raquel, and then eventually got the tag team titles, and then proceeded to lose them. But so she's like, "I never lost my title, and we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Which would it be, McFly?" Boink. The easy way. I dreamt I'd been back in time. Woke up in night. Well, Marty, you're safe and sound now. Back here in 1985. 1985? Psst. Mom, you're so big. My father. Where is he? Where's he? Your father's always been in Hillside Cemetery. 2 was weird, but it was funny at the same time. Because it went from 2015, started in 85, from the remnants from the end of Back to the Future 1, but it had a different Jennifer, obviously, which was, what's her name? From Karate Kid. Elizabeth, I know it's Elizabeth something, I can't think of the name. But anyway, she was the new Jennifer, because the first Jennifer, I guess, didn't want to do the second one. Go figure that one out. So anyway, so it's the end of the first movie, goes into the second movie where they're traveling to 2015. 2015. And then from there, it just goes on, and then they kind of, 2015, Biff steals the DeLorean, goes back to 1985, then brings it back to 2015, and then after Doc and Marty bring back Jennifer, who sees her future self, "I'm home!" She faints, and then blah, 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 blah. It's like, let's get out of here. They go back to what was supposed to be 1985, but it's totally different. There's no lock on this door. And then Marty climbs into his room, and he goes into his room, and pretty much it's not his room. It's some black African American family's room. He's like, "What are you doing here?" "Well, I got something for you, sucker." And then he proceeds to go to. He runs down the road. He's like, "What the hell's going on here?" And it's just it's like 1985 an alternate reality. And they have to get back to 1955, but they can't go back to 1955 because it would be the alternate reality of that. We have to go back to the past. It was just like, it was a good movie, but then, you know, stuff like that. Alright, we went on a way off of that. Alright, so Liv and Roxanne's like, we want the titles back, basically. We can do it the easy way, or the hard way. And then, Bailey! Give me a hug. And Bird Lady, Lyra Valkyria, they come out. And, the German crowd loves Bailey. Hey, Bailey! Woo! I wanna know, will you be my girl? They love her there. So anyway, they come out. Bailey wants a title shot as well. Talks about beating Roxanne Perez. Blah, 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 blah. Then the fans sing to her some more. And then they start arguing a little bit. While Mommy and EO were, like, looking on. And then Mommy tried to smooth things over. And then EO's like, no, Mommy Leah-san, I got this. And it's just, like, stares at all four of them. And then she starts going completely berserk. Like, calm down! Baka! You know, she probably would have said that. Or, bitch! Anyway, so Io's arguing, they're all arguing, and then Asuka and Kairi come out from underneath the ring, pull out the champs, throw them into the barricade, then they get in, and then we have a big old brawl between all three teams, and then Mommy Rhea Ripley and Io come in, like, alright, that's it. We're gonna beat all of them up. So then they clear the ring. And then we find out later that we got a triple threat match to determine the number one contenders for Mommy Rhea Ripley and EO's tag team titles, and that will happen on Saturday's main event next Saturday. So we got Roxanne Perez and Liv taking on Bailey and Lyra taking on Bailey and Lyra taking on Liv and Liv and Roxy, and they're taking on the Kabuki Warriors in a triple threat match to determine the next contenders. So we'll see what happens with that. But the first segment was alright. 2.5 out of 5 stars, and we're off and running on your 2+ hour Cue for Insomnia Monday night. And we got that. Alright, after that, we go to the back with Jackie Redmond and her guest, the phenomenal AJ Bedhair Styles. So, ready for Walter, and Jackie's asking him, why is it so personal now? And, because of the whole thing with Cena. And AJ's like, well, Walter doesn't show respect in the ring and outside the ring, stuff like that. I'm all about showing respect for my opponent, Basic wrestling sportsmanship. And Walter doesn't want to do that. So, AJ wants to beat some respect into Walter. So, we'll see. In the main event. That's that. Alright, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, before we get to, your boy is Butsy Javon Evans and Bravo Americano. That's Tyler Bate. We get a segment in the Judgment Day Clubhouse. We see Fiend Balor playing WWE 2K25. Him against Cody Rhodes. Go figure that one out. And he was winning. And then Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez come in. Liv starts yelling at him. It's like, what? What are you doing? What are you doing? Playing 2K25? I thought you were going to be serious. I thought you were going to go for the gold. This whole promo from last week. Where it's like, I'm going to get some gold around my waist again, this and that, while Dom's away, and JD McDumpfuck is, healing from wrist surgery. And, Liv has a point. He's like, I thought you were going to be serious. And you're playing video games. What are you doing? So she leaves in a huff, and then Roxanne Perez is like, oh, she got a point there, Finn. So then she leaves, and Finn's like, you'll see. Wonder what that means. Alright, so I gave that segment 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, finally, after all that spiel, because now we finally get to some wrestling, some action, because as always, as my ex-girlfriend used to say, a little less talk and a lot more action on Monday Night Raw. Or in WWE and wrestling, period. We don't want to hear talk, we want to wrestle. I still remember going to that indie show, and like, these two people were talking, and like 5 more people came in. And I'm like, oh, we're gonna wrestle, we're gonna talk. And then the guy goes right, looks at me, and goes, oh, we're gonna talk. I'm like, shit. And then I'm like, everybody's like, oh, we got owned. I'm like, fuck you. If he would have said that, I would have came back and said, hey, you want me to get in there and talk? I would have really gave it to that guy. I was like, it's like, you, talking for 20 minutes. What's this, Monday Night Raw? Come on now, man. I'm like, I want to see some fucking action. Do I have to do it myself? Shit. Like, we have 100 and some odd people here. We came, paid our hard-earned money to see people fight, not talk for 35 minutes. Oh, you can go home. How about you go fuck yourself? I'm gonna come here 35 minutes to hear you talk. Shit. If I wanted to do that, I could go watch a YouTube video. Just saying. But anyway, finally we get to the action. Javon Evans, Bouncy, takes on Bravo Americano, that's Tyler Bate, with Rayo Americano, that's Pete fucking Dunne, and El Grande Americano, we all know as Mr. Ludwig Spears in his home country. I didn't even recognize him. Who's this guy? You don't know? Come on now. Anyway, so it starts off with, and this was a short match, a little over 6 minutes. So it starts with Johnny Bravo, no, not Johnny Bravo, not Carly Bravo. Well, Bravo slapped Javon. Uh-oh, you slapped that guy. Oh, boy. Goes for a charge, missed, and then Javon's like, smacked him right in the face. Turnbuckle's fair play. Then running Hurricane Rana takes Bravo down, but Bravo drops Javon pretty easily right after that. Then a basic 1905 chin lock gets put on Javon, but Javon gets out of that easily. Gets back up with a kick to face, and then Bravo comes right back with a spinning torture rack. With no hands. That's Tyler Bate. He can do that. And Cole's like, he reminds me of somebody. I mean, really, Cole, you don't know who that is by now? Moron. And a couple of old-time wrestlers used to do that. Cesaro used to do that. We put him on his shoulders and he like an airplane spin without the freaking, his hands like, I am Cesaro! A couple other people used to do that. And Cole, you don't remember? Come on now. So anyway, so he hits that. Then he goes up top. Javon meets him, hits a super Spanish fly. Perfect. Oh, Joel Maxwell will love that. Anyway, that's my mentor. So he hits that. Then he goes to the other corner and does the springboard OG Giddy Kata! Bang! 1, 2, 3. Javon Evans gets the win over Bravo. And like I said, a little over 6 minutes. Match was alright, nothing great, but still 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, 3-on-1 beatdown. They throw Javon over the announce table. And they throw Javon over the announce table, and they have him cornered, and freaking Cole's like, what's going on? And then they go after Javon, and Javon like, leaps over them, goes into the ring and outside, out the other side, and he kind of like runs up the aisleway and kind of like rests on the barricade, and like 15, but like the fans like holding him back and like hugging him and everything. And he's like, oh, I got you. See that? You see that? I swatted him. Look at that. Alright. So we got that. Alright, but decent match. I am not liking the Americanos at all. I don't like it. I just don't like the gimmick that much. I miss Chad Gable as El Grande Americano, but now Ludwig Spears, he's alright, but then you put Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, British Strong Style, you put him under a mask? Why? I think it's dumb. Get rid of it. I would keep El Grande Ludwig Spears under the mask, and then when Chad Gable comes back, he's like, hey, that's my gimmick. Let them fight it out. Let's see what happens with that. We move on. Alright, anyway, after that, we go to the back, outside Adam Pearce's office. He meets up with the wise man. My name is Paul Heyman. And informs him that if Braun Breaker, is Braun Breaker here? I don't know where he is. Well, when he gets here, tell him to go back home if he's gonna come to my show and have bad intentions. And Heyman's like, well, if he does come here, I assure you he will not have bad intentions. And he's like, I don't even care to be a messenger boy. He's like, alright, I'll tell him anyway. But I assure you he won't be having bad intentions. Right. When somebody says they have bad intentions, usually that happens. Ray, when somebody tells you if you're a god, you say yes! I couldn't help it. Fuck you, Ray. Mr. Stay Puft. Fucking Ray. Come on now. I thought Gozer the Gazarian was a guy. Could be anything he wants to be. Are you a god? No. Then die! And then that epic line, Ray, if somebody tells you if you're a god, you say yes! Moron, Ray, moron! If you're fighting a demon, they ask you if you're a god, you say yes, dumb fuck! Oh, I'm taking the Lord's name in vain! Come on. You're a freaking human being, you're fighting a demon! They don't know if you're a god or not! You say no, they're gonna kill you anyway! You say you're a god, or you have a chance. Moron! Alright, we got that. Alright, so we'll see what happens with that. And it gets pretty damn serious later on. We move on. Alright, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then it's time for the World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk! He comes out, look in my eyes, what do you see? A guy that's hiding behind AJ Lee. He's a piece of shit. What a hot-ass bitch. He's the guy that's barely on TV. Okay. I have such a great voice, don't I? Thank you. And yes, I was in a band. We move on. So Punky Brewster comes out, talks about how he's going to be champion for a long time. We'll see about that. And the people here make him believe that he can do anything. Okay, you're not. Are you trying to be reading Rainbow? Butterfly in the sky, I can fly twice as high. Take a look It's in a book. A reading rainbow. I'm going back to the 80s. Holy shit. Anyway, early 90s too with Cult of Personality. But I digress. So he said. So Punky goes, after surviving Braun Breaker, I'm now looking to the future, Conan, and I want to find my next challenger. So he's about to leave, and then Fiend Balor comes out and says, I'm not going to wait for the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber coming up in February. He says, I want to fight you now, tonight, or today, tonight. I want to fight you now. Now. Everything I'm saying to you right now is going to happen right now. But what happened to then, Finn? Fuck you, shut up, you missed it. So anyway, so he wants his title shot now. So Punk's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm a fan of yours, Finn. I'm a fighting champion today. So I'm going to go to the back, put my boots on and my gear on, and we're going to do this match tonight. Well, Balor's like, no, I was just kidding. So he's like, no, because we're not going to do it here in Dusseldorf. We're going to do it in my hometown of Belfast, Northern Ireland. So he's like, fuck. So Punk's like, alright. I'll give you a week to prepare. I got nothing to do tonight. I'm going to go home. I'm going to go to the back and have some, cookies or whatever we're going to have in catering. And he's like, fans, I'm sorry, I can't, perform for you tonight, but, and then he apologizes to the fans in Belfast for what he's gonna do to Finn next week. He's like, I'm gonna put you to sleep, and I'm gonna still be the World Heavyweight Champion because so it says, my name is Puke. Alright, so we see what happens with that. Should be a great match next week with Fiend Balor and Punky Brewster, and we'll see what happens with that. I have a feeling that they're not going to make Finn win. I would be shocked, but I don't think he's going to win. I think Punk's going to win either clean or maybe with some chicanery from the Judgment Day. I don't know how, but unless JD McDumpfuck comes back next week, I don't know about Dom. I think Dom's not going to come back, so maybe the Rumble. And then maybe start his program with his fake dad, Rey Mysterio, for the Intercontinental title. That'll lead up to Mania. And we get like a rematch from WrestleMania 39. I'd rather not see Rey with the IC title again. I'd rather have Femi do it. Not Rey. Look, Rey's a gringo. Okay, Eddie. I know you hate him. That's not the time. I know, I'm sorry, S.A. Pedro, but I just hate that guy. I hate him. I hated him then, and I hate him now. Okay. Just calm down. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Okay. But you have a great show. Adios, S.A. Pedro. Okay. Sorry. He just came out of nowhere. Alright, so we'll see what happens with all that. Next week, Finn Balor and CM Punk. We get that. Alright, after the break, we come back with our triple threat women's tag team match to determine the number one contenders to face Mommy Rhea Ripley and Io. Or now they are officially known as Rio. Alright, so we got Lila Valkyria and Bayley. Give me a hug. Taking on Asuka and Katie. Taking on Liv Morgan and Roxy. Like I said, the winners get a title shot next Saturday night in Montreal at Saturday Night's Main Event. So it's also with Bayley rolling up Liv to start, goes for a charge in the corner and missed. And then Asuka takes both of them down. And then we got the tags of the other three ladies, because it's a triple threat match, all three ladies to start. So it kind of felt like a tornado tag, but whatever. Anyway, so Roxy gets a near fall off a fruit roll-up. Lyra knocks her away. Kylie takes both of them down. And then all 6 women are in the ring. And then Kylie hits that big, insane in the membrane, insane in the brain. Just the insane elbow off the top to the floor. And then, she gets right in the camera like, ah! I love when she does that. She's like, Mr. Joseph, I love you! I love you too. I love Mina too. Asuka, Eon, Kyrie, and Mina. By the way, people saying who gave Mina those flowers? Me! Not Orange Cassidy. Me! Not that gimmick sealer. If you watch my short on my Peter Joseph channel, you know. That gimmick sealer. And I say that because I used to have a gimmick in XWF where I got all the ladies. Because I used to be the Hollywood bad boy, then the Extreme Icon, but I still had the same gimmick, which is basically a ripoff of Adam Cole's Suck My Dick gimmick. But I did it better, sorry Adam, but I'm sorry, Adam! Chugs. Adam's playing Expedition 33, the new DLC that came out. Bro, I've seen that. I played some of it. What the fuck? And you thought the final boss was fucking cheap? Haha! I mean, these super bosses and the ultimate super boss are fucking cheap as fuck! I'm like, why would you put that in a game? And I'm at level 90, whatever level I'm at. I'm at super level, and I'm getting beat by a super boss? Come on, man! Great game, though. If you haven't played Expedition 33, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 on the PS5, ooh, you're missing out. And we're a month away from Resident Evil 9! Requiem. Oh, I don't think you'll be seeing me much because I'll be playing the fuck out of that game. I mean, I finished off Silent Hill F. Amazing game that is. Ghost of Yotei. Oh, woo. Love that. I love Ghost of Tsushima. I love Black Myth Wukong. I hope they make a sequel to that. I don't know if they are. I mean, it's early 2026, so I don't know. But we got a lot of good games coming out this year, and I heard next year, too. So I don't know what might be the... I think Resident Evil 9 might be the early candidate for Game of the Year. But, like I said, it's got a lot of games coming out. Lots of them. So we'll see. Let's see what happens with that. The Witcher 4 is coming out. That might be a Game of the Year candidate. There's a couple other good games that are coming out. I forget, but... I forget because I was watching the previews for some of the games that are coming out next year besides Resident Evil 9 and The Witcher 4, Super Mario, what was the other one? There's a Super Mario racing game coming out. I don't know if it came out already or before, not this coming year. But lots of good games coming out. Lots of good games. Just telling you right now. And there was a rumor that the PlayStation 6 is coming out, I think they said 2029, or 28 or 29. So we got a couple more years until we have to put down another $1,000 for a PS6. Ugh. It's gonna take me another 4 years to get the PS6, you know what I mean? Took me a while to get the PS5, and I got that 2 years ago. So we got that. But anyway, we move on. So Kyrie hits the big elbow off the top. Go to break, come right back. Lyra comes in and cleans house, but Asuka cuts her off on the top rope. Then he's set up for the Tower of Doom spot. Yeah, love that. Everybody's down. And then Kyrie gets caught in a backbreaker. Ow. And then middle up elbow gives Bailey a near fall. And then Roxy hits Pop Rocks for a very near fall. They get back up. I think Liv was got a blind tag, and hits Oblivion on poor Kyrie. Why is Kyrie taking pins lately? Why? But anyway, so Liv and Roxanne Perez get the win in under 13 and a half minutes, and they are the new #1 contenders, and they will face Rio next week on Saturday night's main event. Should be a good match. Title change? Probably not. I know you got Lexi and Charlotte waiting in the wings. You got Nia and Lash waiting in the wings. So something's gonna happen between the Royal Rumble and Mania with those women's tag team titles. Whether Mommy and Io lose them before Mania or at Mania to who, I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that, and we move on. That's that. Match was alright. 2.25 out of 5 stars, and we move on with that. Alright, then we get a video from the new Women's Intercontinental Champion, back again as the champ for the second time, and that's the man, Becky Lynch. Alright, so Becky cuts a promo, talks about her issues with Maxine Dupri, and they're gonna face off next week in Belfast, Northern Ireland, so a homecoming for Finn Balor and Becky Lynch. So we're doing round 5 of Maxine and Becky. And as we all know, Maxine's up 3 matches to 1. Go figure that one out. Well, actually, yeah, I think she's up 3 matches to 1, but whatever. But yeah, we got that match next week. So we got Finn Balor and CM Punk for the Raw World Title, and then we got Becky versus Maxine Dupri, number 5 for the Women's Intercontinental Title. That's a lot. That's a pretty good card right there. But we'll see. Alright, so I gave Becky's promo 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we got a preview for Unreal Season 2, which comes out, I think, next week. Not that anybody's gonna watch it. We got that. Alright, so after that, we heard from Becky, now we hear from Maxine Dupri. She's all ready to beat Becky again. And then we see Otis and Akira Tozawa, still part of American Alpha. So after she tells them that they can be as successful as she is, Maxine tells them, I promise to make Becky tap out again next week and get back the title for the second time. Will she? No. I don't think she will. I still think they're going to lead to Becky versus AJ Lee at Mania, and AJ's going to hold the belt for a little bit. You know, they say she's full-time, but she's been out since the Survivor Series. Go figure. No, she's doing her book stuff. I don't know what the hell she's doing besides CM Punk. Though I doubt that. Who knows? Oh, we move on. So I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Alright, then Michael Cole has a special guest, and that is the lovely birthday girl, Raquel Rodriguez, who I think turned 35. You would think she's younger? Look good for 35 there, Raquel. Mommy, you know. Mamacita. Anyway, so she comes out to talk to Michael Cole, and Raquel's not sorry for attacking Stephanie Vercurra, La Primera, the Raw Women's Champion last week, hurting her ankle even more. So, on cue, Stephanie Vercurra comes out to chase Raquel off, but even after Stephanie yells at the camera and says, I'm going to beat your ass, better! Raquel comes from behind and takes out her ankle again, and takes it, bam, and then uses the Raw Women's title and starts beating the fuck out of her and damaged it. He damaged the belt. I'm like, are we getting a new belt now? I hope, you know. Not that I like. I mean, I really don't like the design of the women's title, the women's world title, because basically the mini version of the big gold belt, which is basically the men's world title, which looks the same but smaller. I mean, the women's title is smaller. then on the other side, for the SmackDown men's title and the SmackDown women's title, is just basically the WWE title in a gold with a gold thing on it. I mean, be original. Shit. I say bring back the old school women's title. Not that Divas Butterfly shit. Ugh. What do you think New Japan got the idea for what used to be the IWGP title? From the Divas title. That's where they got the idea from. And thank God Tsuji retired that shit. Brought back the old school IWGP World title belt. Which is amazing. Weighs a lot. But I'm glad that belt is back. I'm glad. So hopefully, maybe we'll get new title belts soon. I don't know when, but soon, hopefully. That's that. Yeah, so Raquel and Stephanie on a collision course. I don't know when that match might be. Maybe at the Rumble. We'll see what happens with that. Alright, so I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that's it. Alright. Then we go to another segment with Otis and Akira Tozawa. They want a tag team title shot against the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. So Jay's there. Says, well, I'm going to talk to Jimmy, who wasn't at the arena. I think he went back home to, take care of Naomi, who I don't know how far along she is with her baby boy, I believe. So Jay's like, well, I'll talk to Jimmy about that, but be careful what you ask for. You might get it. So, we'll see what happens with that. Not that I want to see that match, because I know the Usos will wipe the floor with Otis and Tozawa. And Tozawa will most likely take the pin. And Jack Farmer is going to be really mad, because his boy, his favorite wrestler in the whole wide world, is taking another loss. Sucks to be you. Alright, that's that. So, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, whoops. Let's go back. Alright, after that, we go to Tag Team Action Player. We had Division represented by Austin Theory and Big Bronson Reed, along with Paul Heyman and Logan Small at ringside. They take on the Luchadors of that guy named Dragon Lee and Pentagon Zero Miedo. Yeah. Pentagon's not doing so well because his boy, George Kittle, horrific injury to Kittles and Bits during the game on Sunday night. He tore his Achilles. He caught the ball and tried to pivot, and then he put his foot down and he saw the calf just explode. And then he got tackled and immediately grabbed his Achilles. I thought it was his ankle for a second, because he did injure his ankle. Was out for a couple weeks. But where he grabbed it, I was like, oh, that's Achilles. He's out. He's going to be out maybe most of the next season at this point. Because you know how when you tear your Achilles, it takes a year or so to come back from that. Ask Vinny Testaverde or anybody who's torn their Achilles. It is not fun. So, yeah, we wish, the Niners faithful wish George Kittle a speedy recovery. Hopefully he can be back by training camp. I doubt that, but you never know. But at this point, I don't even see him maybe coming back till maybe middle of the season. Or maybe not at all. That's going to hurt, the Niners' chances next year. Because they're not going to have Ayuk next year. He'd be gone. So they'll get money on... They'll take his money and maybe get some free agents who knows? Maybe they could trade for Debo. Bring him back. If he wants to come back. I don't know if he does, but we'll see. There's talk. Is it my... I thought I shaved today, so... I thought, I'm looking at myself. I know it's starting to come back a little bit. The 5 o'clock shadow. Starting to come back a little bit. But, you can tell it's a little bit's coming back, but it'll probably come back by the weekend, so it might, my facial hair grows like a chia pet. Not so much my hair these days, but, but, so every couple days, every week, basically, I have to shave again. But I'm running out of shaving cream. I gotta get some shaving cream eventually. Maybe this weekend I'll go to the store and get some. But anyway, we have that. So Pentagon and Dragon Lee take on Austin Theory and Bronson Reed. Decent match, nothing great for 9.5 minutes. It's also with Pentagon kicking away at Theory. And then Bronson Reed comes in and crushes him in the corner. That gets broken out. Dragon Lee comes in for some kicks to the titties, the chest of big Bronson Reed. That kind of makes him mad, and he runs Dragon Lee over like a freaking road sign. And then he sends Bronson Reed out to the floor very hard. And we go to break with the villains in control. We come right back. Theory goes after Dragon Lee, including a snap suplex for a near fall. Eventually, Dragon Lee manages to reverse a power bomb into a quick DDT. Gets the hot tag to Pentagon, who comes in like a house of fire. But then, as Dragon Lee's on the floor, we see Braun Breaker come out of nowhere, spear the fuck out of him. And the referee saw it, DQ. So we get a disqualification. So Pentagon and Dragon Lee get the win by disqualification in just under 9.5 minutes. Match was alright. 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then after the match, he takes up Dragon Lee and then kind of takes out Pentagon as well with a super spear. Then goes outside the ring, and I think he was going to do another spear to Dragon Lee. He starts to run around the ring, and then stops short because Adam Pearce came out, starts yelling. He was yelling. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Right? And, he comes out to yell at Braun, leaving Bronson Reed to do the rest of the dirty work, taking Pentagon and Dragon Lee out even more. I don't know if he hit tsunamis. I might have missed that. But anyway, so after that, Pearce goes in the ring, starts yelling at Bronson Reed for what he's like, stop what you're doing! And then Braun Breaker hits another spear. I don't remember on who. And then Adam Pearce grabbed him and stopped him. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? And you could hear, they bleeped out fuck. And then he grabbed him, turned him around. He's like, I'm sick of this shit. I'm tired of it. And then he just darted. He's like, you think I'm tired? And he went right into Braun Breaker. And then Braun Breaker just grabbed him, threw him into the freaking turnbuckle. And he's like yelling at him. He's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm like, holy shit. And Paul Heyman, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory had to hold him back. Because it went a little bit too far. Whether it be storyline or not. But man, Adam Pearce was mad. And Braun Breaker's just like, you know what? Fuck you. You grab me like that? Fuck you. Man, that was some fuck shit. That kind of woke me up. I'm like, oh, this show's boring me. Then this happens, whoa, hello. Alright, so we got that. Let me move on. Alright. So, after the break, we go to back. Javon Evans checks on Ray Phoenix and... Oh, that's Ray Phoenix was at ringside. I didn't even know Ray Phoenix was at ringside. How could I miss him? Anyway, he checks on Ray Phoenix and Dragon Lee in the back, saying, I'm here if you need me. Oh, Javon, I don't think you need to do that. You want to be next? Oy. So we got that, 2.5 out of 5 stars. And then, we see Adam Pearce again yelling at Braun Breaker after they went into his office. We see Braun leaving the office, and and we see like the rest of the Vision coming out, and Adam Pearce is like, "I ain't done talking to you yet." Blah blah blah. He says, "Just for that, you're suspended indefinitely." And then Braun's like gets right up to his face, like, right, and then eventually Braun Breaker leaves with I guess the rest of the Vision had to escort him out before he did something even more worse. Shit. And then Paul Heyman comes up to Adam Pearce and says, "What you just did was a mistake." And Adam Pearce is like, "Oh really, Paul? Oh really? He put his hands on me." And then Heyman's like, "Respectfully, Adam Pearce, from my vantage point, you put your hands on him first." Uh-oh! I smell a lawsuit! So, I think, Paul's got a point because Pearce put his hands on Braun first, even though he was trying to stop him. That could go to the board of directors, and Adam Pearce, you might be fired, or at least suspended. So, either that, or you're going to have to lift the suspension next week. So, this little storyline is it brought me back to the days of Austin and McMahon, where Austin would just beat the fuck out of McMahon, even before the whole Austin McMahon saga started. And then, you had, a Triple H attacking Paul Heyman when I think Heyman was GM. And then Brock F5ing Adam Pearce during the Thunderdome era. Remember that? Which led to Adam Pearce actually winning a match to face Brock, I think, for the title when Brock had the Universal title. When he fought him at, I forgot what pay-per-view he fought him at, beat the fuck out of Adam Pearce. I was like, damn, Adam Pearce, a former NWA champion, gets destroyed. I thought he had a better chance. He ran into a buzzsaw, and he got taken to Suplex City. Shit. So, when Braun did that to Pearce, I was like, damn, this feels like 2020 all over again. So I'm very interested in see what happens next week with Pearce and Braun Breaker, and what might happen to Adam Pearce. Like I said, he might get fired, he might get suspended himself, or I think the logical choice, and logic usually wins, he has to. The board of directors says, "Oh, you have to uphold the suspension." So we'll see what happens with that. All right, but I gave that 3.5 out of 5 stars just because. It was just amazing. Great passion, even though people think, Pearce is a bad actor, he should get fired. Shut up. Alright, move on. Alright, after that, we got a video of various celebrities wanting to be involved with WrestleMania. I think we saw Cam Scatterboo of the Giants. I think Josh Hart of the Knicks. Various people I want to be at WrestleMania. Oh, that's that WrestleMania commercial. Triple H watches the video, says it's going to be a long road to Mania. And he sits at his desk in a leather jacket. Good commercial, not great, but... So see who might be at WrestleMania this year. Some celebrities going to maybe be involved or just there. We'll see. So I think we're going old school. Remember how every WrestleMania had... I guess every WrestleMania that has been around has had celebrities either in the crowd or they're hosting or in a match here and there. So, we'll see who might be appearing this year. We get that. Alright, then we get what's coming next week. And that's that. Then we get another video for Oba! Who? Femi! The Destroyer! Who? The Ruler! Who? The Bringer of War! Who? So we see another vignette of him. He's going to be, I don't know when he's going to debut on Raw. Probably after the Rumble, I would assume. He vacated the NXT title last week, and tomorrow night on the program, Ava Raine is going to talk about that, what's going to happen now with a vacant NXT title. Hey, Vacant should defend the belt against Tony D'Angelo. But knowing WWE and they love tournaments, we're going to get a tournament, most likely. So we'll see what happens with that tomorrow night on NXT. Alright, before the main event, Jackie Redmond's in the back, talks to Walter, who laughs at the idea of AJ Styles actually trying to beat him. We'll see. That's that. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Then we get to the main event, ladies and gentlemen. AJ's bad hairstyle taking on Walter. And this match lasted under 18 minutes. Back and forth they went. I'm not going to go through everything. But AJ used his speed, used some submission moves, grabbing a Dragon Screw leg whip, putting on the calf crusher. With Walter's like already was in trouble early in the match. Now it's even in more big trouble. But Walter made the ropes. Styles goes to the ropes. And then he slipped again. Oh, AJ, why are you slipping so much on the ropes? Probably some sweat, I don't know. Somebody call the guy that comes in and... Whoa, whoa. Sweep it up, asshole, sweep it up. Oh, sorry, the ECW guy. That was always fun back in the day. Doing, in between matches, you see the guy sweeping up the, the dirt, and then wiping down the sweat off the ropes and go, whoa, whoa, sweep it up, asshole. One of the many weird chants from ECW. Marks, we were all marks back then. But we had, back in the Attitude Era, up to now, the freaking fans just come out of the woodwork with the most insane, crazy chants you had ever heard. Even the international fans, with they chanting something we don't even know what the fuck they're saying. What? Okay. Well, it got weird. Ring of Honor has had some weird chants. The ever so popular when I went with a friend of mine to Manhattan Mayhem 3 in a tree, because I was sitting ringside. That show I almost got hit in the face by a chair that was thrown by you, sir, Jay Briscoe, you bastard, but reach for the sky, boy. When the Briscoes and the All Night Express, Kenny King and Red Titus, Predicted Love, before their Ladder War match, Ladder War 3, by the way, which I wasn't, what was that? Before that, they had the match, and, I'm sitting ringside, and then, they had a big old brawl. Next thing you know, woo! I was like, shit! If I didn't move, I would have got hit square in the face. I would have blocked it as best I could. I think everybody was trying to block it. And, back then, when I met up with, Monoxide and, I can't think of his name, the guy who ran, CWS on YouTube. Now it's on, I think it's still around on YouTube, I don't know, but I haven't been around for a while with that. I met up with them, and, when I first found out about Monoxide and, CWS and everything, they were in the crowd, and then, I see them, and then they see me, it's like, Peter Gilmore's here, oh shit! They go, dude! And then, during some of the matches, they go, get in there, Gilmore! I'm like, no! Well, you're gonna pay me. Go talk to Carrie Silken about that shit. Back in the day. Good stuff back in the day. But anyway, yeah. So, where was I? Yeah, so Styles goes to Rose with a big slip, allows Walter to chop the crap out of him. And then another twist of the leg around the rope puts Walter down. Springboard flipping leg drop. Nice. Impressive. Hits the leg for another near fall. So AJ's really working on that leg of Walter, trying to chop the big man down. Kind of works. Then AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm. It got counted into a 1925 sleeper hold. AJ backflips into a brute roller for a near fall. And then a big old Lariato into a powerbomb. Gets a near fall for Walter. And we get a double down, get a little breather. Fans going, yeah, that's great. They get back up, the slug away. AJ locks in a calf crusher again, sending Walter back to the rope. And then AJ kind of pulls back off the rope, puts it on again. They roll to the middle, and AJ put more torque on it. And we see Walter kind of like reach around and slap AJ on his leg, right? But the referee is out of position. AJ let go, and everybody's like, why did you let go? And the referee's like, no, match continued. Because AJ thought he won my tap out, and the freaking referee, that big buff referee, says, nope, match continues. And he's like, what do you mean? He tapped. I didn't see it. With all that confusion going on, Walter comes from behind, hits AJ in the nuts. I'm like, oh, God. Are we going there again? Where AJ gets hit in the nuts by Shinsuke Nakamura? It started at Mania, then a pay-per-view after that. Nut shot. Matches on SmackDown. Nut shot, nut shot, nut shot. I mean, AJ has no nutsack. Getting hit so many times in the nuts is crazy during that time. And finally, he beat Shinsuke to retain the WWE title, which Shinsuke should have won at Mania that year. 2016, I believe. So that was WrestleMania 32, I think. 32 or 33. But now we're going back to this. Walter has to cheat to beat AJ with a nut shot. Then he hits a powerbomb pretty much on a lifeless AJ because he's still grabbing his nuts. Powerbomb basically knocked him out. 1, 2, 3. Walter gets the win in under 18 minutes. I hated that finish. I hated it. As much as we all knew Walter was going to win. But winning like that pissed me off. And if I'm AJ, I want a rematch. I think we should do this again. Would it be at the Rumble? Would it be a Mania, which it really should be? I don't know. They did this match too early, in my opinion. Too early. And if Walter, who's now known as a career killer, wants to kind of end the career of AJ, who's now on his retirement tour to Mania, I think Mania or a little bit after Mania, why would you do this match now? If you wanted him to end his career, do it at Mania, where it fits, not on a random, stupid international Raw. Makes no sense. That's why Raw has been booked so badly, in my opinion. It's been really bad. Mid. Hunter's lost his edge. And I think he needs to take some pointers from his boy, Shawn Michaels. Because NXT's been great the last few weeks. SmackDown has just been kind of mid, too. Triple H is losing it. He's not being creative about being creative. And he can't book to save his life. And Tony Khan's like, he's watching from home like, book of the year, my ass. Shawn Michaels book's better than Tony Khan now, but man, Raw has just started this year really off. 3 shows to start the year have been pretty fucking mid. The Netflix premiere last week was pretty mid. Pretty mid. It wasn't great, but I thought it was a little bit off. And SmackDown last week from Berlin, it wasn't great. until, the end where Drew McIntyre won the title. That's the only good thing about it. And Jacob Fatu coming back. That was the only good parts of the show. And Cody losing, of course, but, So I don't know what's going to happen this Friday night on SmackDown from London. We'll see it. We'll see it. Well, most of you will see it at the normal time slot of 8 p.m. But if you have a VPN, you get to see it at 3 p.m. on Netflix. If you have VPN with Netflix, if not, you have to wait till 8. But on Monday, on Martin Luther King Day, next Monday, we'll all watch Raw live from Belfast, Northern Ireland at 3 p.m. So it'll end about 5:30 or so. And then if you didn't see it, you get to watch the replay, which I'll be doing because I will not be watching Raw live because I have I have therapy on Mondays, so I'll miss it. So I might like watch the first 10 minutes of it. Excuse me. Yeah, I'll probably turn it on just to see what starts the show, and then I have to run right out and then go to my therapy session. So when I come home, which will probably be around 5, I'd say around 5, between 5 and 6. By the time I get home, I'm gonna have my late lunch. I'm gonna eat my lunch and watch Raw. And then maybe I'll do the review and then take a nap. And do something after that. But we'll see what happens with that. Moving on. Alright, so Walter cheats to beat AJ. Match itself was alright. Still gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Bad finish. And then after the match, AJ gets pissed at the ref. Why not? And pretty much at Walter, who smiles to end the show. So you can call it a Dusseldorf Screwjob, or German Screwjob for AJ, but he's got a gripe, and I would assume next week he's gonna go to Adam Pearce and say, hey, we gotta do this again. Maybe they're doing a no disqualification match this time, I don't know, but... And if you want to have like a semi-main event, I was like, yeah, let's do that Saturday's main event. Why not? You already got the women's tag team titles on the line. That's one match. Then you can have that match, Walter AJ 2 and Electric Boogaloo on Saturday's main event, and maybe the main event or something. But they haven't even set up the card. Got one match. And it's usually 3 or 4 matches. Maybe around 4, maybe 5 matches for Saturday's main event in a 2-hour program. So we'll see what happens with that. But only one match has been announced for Saturday's main event, which is the women's tag team titles. So we'll see what happens on SmackDown this Friday. If more matches will be announced, and definitely on Monday with the Go Home show before next weekend's shows. And that's that. Alright guys, I am out of here. Pretty mid Monday Night Raw from Dusseldorf, Germany. Wasn't great at all. And I gave Raw 6 out of 10. 6. I was going to give it a 5, but I'm being a little bit reasonable. So I'll give it a 6 out of 10. But let me know what you guys thought of the show down below in the comment section. And like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright. Collision review coming tomorrow. Right here on the channel. And if anything else comes your way, I'll be here to give you the news and all that other good shit. And that's pretty much it. And then we'll do NXT over on my Peter Joseph channel tomorrow night. Late tomorrow night after NXT goes off the air and all that other stuff. And then hopefully we'll start getting back to a semi-normal schedule where I'll try to get the reviews up after the shows or maybe a day or so later. But big week this week. Got Dynamite, Maximum Carnage Wednesday. TNA's debut on AMC. That's going to be big. So we'll talk about that Thursday night. late Thursday night, and then Friday we'll talk about Ring of Honor and get you ready for SmackDown, and then we'll do SmackDown, and then Saturday we'll talk about Genesis predictions. Before we get to the Niner game, I will not be watching Genesis live, by the way. Watch on the replay, because my main focus is on the Niners and the Seahawks on Saturday night at 8 p.m. on Fox. So I'm not going to be watching much of Genesis. I might look in here and there, but like I said, my main focus is on the Niner game. Niners post-game, win or lose, after the game, as always, on the Peter Joseph channel. And if I have a voice by then, I'll do the review for Genesis probably after that, or most definitely on Sunday, along with your Collision review for Maximum Carnage Collision on Saturday night, which I shouldn't be on Saturday night because it's going head-to-head with Genesis and the Niner game, which will swallow that up. So, we'll see what happens with that. But a big week of wrestling for the next couple weeks as we end this month and we start the short month of February. And right around the corner, we got Easter coming up. And don't forget the Daylight Savings Time where we turn the clock forward. Beginning, I think it's the beginning of, where's my, oh, my phone's the only one. I think it's the first, or now I think it's I think it is the first week of March. Next year I saw it's the second week, which is strange. Because I think Easter next year is in April, in like mid-April. Usually it's in late, end of March, or early April. Sometime, last year was, this past year was in mid-April, right around WrestleMania time, which was stupid. Watching wrestling, on Easter Sunday, you have your Easter, sometimes, some people had their Easter meal early, and you're watching baseball, whatever you're watching, and then go to watch WrestleMania at night, or you have your Easter meal at night, and you're watching WrestleMania. Good time, right? But it is what it is, but at least this year is, WrestleMania is in late April, but there's no holidays during that weekend, thank the Lord. But who knows what's going to happen in WrestleMania 43. Hopefully that won't be Easter weekend, and it's in Saudi Arabia, which will start at, I believe, 12 or, well, I assume it's going to start at 12 o'clock, so early afternoon WrestleMania for Night 1 and Night 2 in April 2027. So, we'll see what happens with all that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Thanks for watching. Once again, 6 out of 10 stars for Raw. And let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. And that's it. Alright, continue to subscribe to my channels. Hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that bell as well for more. And we move on. Alright, guys. See you guys tomorrow. But until next time, peace.